name is Kyle Steffen. I'm one of the Sioux Empire's crew staff. Actually, brand new to the team, moved here back in February. But I'm actually going to be the team leader for Blink this year. So you may have been asked to lead with Blink. I realize you may be excited, or you may be not so excited. But I just want to tell you a little bit about Blink and a little bit about what you'll be doing this year, and then how we're going to do it. So first off, I want you to take out your phone right now. I'm serious. Take out your phone right now. I'm gonna wait. Take out your phone right now. I want you to put in my name and my phone number and my email address into your phone, just in case you ever have any issues. I want you to know that you can contact me at any time if you have questions about Blink. So if you grab your phone, my phone number is 319-400-9570, and my email address is Kyle, Kyle, Steffen, Steffen, at crewcru.org. If you ever have any questions, feel free to email me, feel free to text me, feel free to call me. I would love to help you out with Blink this year. So you may be wondering what you're actually going to be doing. Blink is actually going to be our new way of engaging with students on campus who maybe are a little too busy to be involved with crew. So we came up with Blink. We came up with this idea of if we could engage with students in a spiritual way through email, through texting, through Facebook, would that be valuable? And time after time, as we did some polls, as we engaged with students and tried to learn, we found out that this could be really cool. So one of the things you're going to be asked to do with Blink is just engage with students on campus. So if you remember, during the first week of classes, we actually went through and did surveys. On the survey, there was a question that said, would you be interested in Blink? It cast some vision and talked about how students could sign up to get a 5-minute spiritual nugget to learn more about spiritual things, to engage with the conversation on spiritual things. And we had a huge amount of students sign up for that. It's crazy. I think across the 8 or 9 different campuses in the Sioux Empire, we had almost 700 students say, yeah, I want to learn more about Blink. I want to get messages sent to me through email, through text, through Facebook, and learn more about spiritual things. So as a Blink leader, it's going to be your role this year in following up those contacts. So I just want to even cast some vision of what we're asking you guys to do. So you may be wondering, okay, are you going to give me 50 or 60 contacts and then all of a sudden I have to call and text every single one of them? No. As a Blink leader, we're asking you to be faithful and do one simple thing. That you would email, that you would message, that you would text every person we ask you to do, and trust that God's going to use that. Because we realize that there are going to be students who just glance over the message and never really respond. There's going to be students who get the first 2 or 3 and they're like, yeah, this isn't for me, and they're going to unsubscribe, and we'll talk about that later. But we're trusting God that He's going to bring you into contact with those 2 or 3 or 5 students who are interested. And then it becomes your role to engage with them. So if you get assigned 50 or 60 contacts, the only thing we're asking you to do this year is to be faithful to send messages to those 50 or 60 contacts. It shouldn't take you too long. All the messages are pre-scripted. You can actually see them by going to Sioux Empire Crew and looking up the tab that says Blink. So I'm going to give you a second, pull that up, look up Sioux Empire Crew, and go to Blink. If you scroll down to about the middle of the page, it says Blink, and then click on that. And that it actually gives you a description of what Blink is going to be, and then what your first messages are. So if you click on that, it actually says, the tab that says Blink, it actually gives you a script of how you're going to get in contact with these people. It's pre-done. A bunch of the staff looked over this. And actually, it's a script that we're going to ask you to just copy and paste to every single person and send them the first week. Because we were running into a little bit of a stickiness when it comes to interacting with these students, we're asking you that your first interaction can be a text message, if possible. We realize some of these contacts, we don't have phone numbers, or an email. And then through the first message, you're actually going to ask for permission to add them on Facebook and then send the rest through Facebook. Obviously, some students are going to be super excited for that, and they're going to be like, yeah, feel free to add me on Facebook. I would love to get these Blink messages there. Some people aren't even going to respond at all, and then you just keep sending them. It's not your role as a Blink leader to figure out who's reading them and different things like that. It honestly is just your role to send the messages and then trust that God's going to use that, and prayerfully pray for these people as you go through it. The reality is, it's not your job to follow them up every single week. It's your job to just engage with who wants to be engaged. In the same way, when you lead a dorm Bible study, or if you lead a fill group, you can only really minister to people who have said yes and have come and sought you out. You can only minister to people who respond to a text message or a phone call about learning more about a Bible study. In the same way with Blink, we're just trusting you to follow up the contacts who do say yes. So if you're texting Johnny Freshman a Blink message and he says, "Hey, that was really cool, I like that," then engage with him. If he doesn't respond, that's totally fine. The reality is, we realize that with Blink, most of these people aren't going to respond, but the ones that will are the ones we're going to trust that you're going to be able to have a ministry with this year. So you may be wondering how Blink is going to work. So if you remember, I said go to Sioux Empire Crew. You can actually check out the first week message of what you're going to send to every contact, and then the subsequent messages. All you have to do is simply copy and paste. I would challenge you that when you're doing Blink and when you have your day sectioned off to send your Blink messages, I would challenge you to read the message first or to watch the video, whatever it is. It should take about 5 minutes, and then come up with a few questions. Because the reality is, there are going to be students who read these, who view these videos, who look at the articles, who say, "Yeah, that was impactful," and they might respond. So the next thing that you're going to be asked to do is, when and if people respond, is that you would engage with them in a conversation. So if somebody says, "Hey, that article you sent me last week was really cool," that's where you as a leader can step in and be like, "Hey, what did you think was cool about it? Tell me your thoughts. Explain to me more." Different things like that. Honestly, the goal is just get the ball rolling. And hopefully, as Blink goes through the first few weeks of school, you're actually going to have the opportunity to engage with these people on a personal level. I think it's about every 5 weeks we're actually going to ask you to engage with people in person. So you're going to send a message out, and it says, "Hey, I would love to get time, or I'd love to get coffee, or I'd love to get lunch with you. Are you free?" And so when people respond, your goal is to then have a ministry with the people who are responding to you. So I don't know if that all makes sense. I don't know if you guys have questions, but if you do, feel free to let me know. In the subsequent email this video is going to be attached to, there's going to be the introductory script that you're going to use to engage with people, and then there's going to be links to all of the messages and how to go about copying and pasting those. But ultimately, despite all of these different things that we're going to be doing, we're just trusting God to use this. This year is going to be a learning year. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know what the reception is going to be. So far, the reception seems to be great, having almost 700 students sign up for Blink. But we're going to trust the Lord that He's going to do something through this year. Because I look towards next year when I think of Blink, and I think there are going to be students who are going to be involved as sophomores and juniors who said, "Yeah, I actually got involved because my freshman year, they sent me all these Blink messages and I got really interested." There's going to be kids in the second semester who say, "Yeah, the reason I came to Crew is because it didn't work for me for my first semester, but this girl named Lauren at SDSU sent me a bunch of messages, and so I decided to check Crew out the second semester." Or there's a guy named Daniel at DSU who just sent me messages every week, and I think I ignored a bunch of them, but the ones I read were really impactful. There's going to be people who are going to say that next year, next semester, and next year. So as we do Blink, we're looking to the future. We're looking towards, what is God going to do, and what can we trust Him for? So ultimately, as a leader, I want you to hear this. I'm just super proud of you guys. This is going to be an interesting year as we step into Blink. And if you ever have any questions, let me know. But ultimately, we're trusting you, and we're trusting the Lord to just see what's going to happen. So like I said, if you ever have any questions, if you ever are having hiccups and you're like, "I don't know how to do this," or maybe people aren't responding or something like that, just let me know. I would love to talk to you about that. Because with Blink this year, ultimately, it's kind of like the test run. We're going to kind of roll it out there, learn a lot, and then at the end of the year, we're going to look, was this valuable? Are there changed life stories because of this? Because I think at the end of the year, when we're hanging out at Leadership Luau back in May or end of April, early May, we're going to be thinking there are students who are involved with Crew because of this. There's students who are involved with Crew because David at USD sent Blink messages. There's people involved with Crew because Naomi at NSU sent a bunch of Blink messages. So if you ever have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, feel free to look over the email that I'm going to attach this video with. It'll have the link for how to send the first messages. It'll have the link to every other message, which is available at SiouxEmpireCrew.com. It'll have my contact information, and then it will have a few encouraging thoughts, things that I think will really help you guys roll out Blink this year on campus. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, yeah, I look forward to hearing what God's going to do this year. Thanks.